Oh my god, hi chat. We are back. It is time. We are on our fourth official Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival stream, which is again very long. We're working on it. But very exciting today. So we are doing another interview again, this time with one of the developers behind Day by Day. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself in your studio, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, great. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Gwen. I run the studio. It's called HMoon Publishing. It's LLC. Yeah, we do game development with Otomes, and then we also do some publishing assistance as well.
Love that. Love that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So how did the name of the studio come to be? Like, what was the inspiration for that?
Yeah, so HMoon is a combination of all the letters my husband and I have in common across our first names and our last names.
Aww, okay, that's really cute. Wait, what? That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
it's like if
God.
you had a Sarah and a Ryan, then you'd pull an A from both of those kind of thing.
That is really cute.
Yeah, and then I kind of arranged it in this way, so it's you would say HMoon, but in my head, half the time I call it honeymoon.
Aww.
It's very sweet.
That's really sweet. Oh my goodness. And so, as for the second question, how did we all come together as a game studio? How did that happen?
It's just, I would say it's just me right now. So I'm like limited in the kind of help that I can provide.
Sure.
But for this particular project, I'm working with an artist named Snake, and she actually found me while I was working on my previous game. I've published 2 games to Steam so far, and this is like my 3rd project that we have up on Steam. So
Nice.
we met when I was working on my 2nd game, and she wanted to work together. And we did this game jam entry last year for Otome Jam, and it went really well. So we were like, well, what else can we do? We were like, let's put a pause on that because that's a really big project. What can we do together that's like a little bit smaller in scale? So then we kind of came up with Day After Day together, and it's my writing and it's my game design, but it's all her original characters and world lore and things like that, and her art.
Well, good for you for having 3 games out, by the way, just in the one studio. Is that like all this year, or is it over like a couple years?
Over a few. So I used to be under the name GSE Studios, and under that name I published a visual novel with stat raising called Heart and Soul, which is like follows the Greek myth of Psyche.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she like eventually marries who we think of as Cupid. So I just loved that story. And then the next one I partnered with like a really talented friend of mine who wrote and self-published a novel. And I was like, let's adapt that into a visual novel. So we did that.
That's cool. Well, again, congratulations on having 3 games at least released under the studio. That's fantastic work. But we'll ask that specifically to you. What got you specifically into game development?
I had played a lot of Otomes, and when I was about 17, my little sister and I came up for the best idea for a game ever. It's going to be better than, all these super successful Japanese studio games. Is, the hubris of somebody first getting into game development often is like, I'm going to make something like World of Warcraft, but better. Yeah. So I did the same thing.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then we quickly realized that wasn't gonna work. But I had kind of chipped away at the writing on that dream project bit by bit, and then one day, and I had joined like a writing website. It was a Wattpad, which is like famous for beginning romance authors. So I was hanging out with a bunch of authors and chipping away at this game and trying to improve my writing. And then I had joined this writing challenge where you had to write a novella in I think 2 months.
Oh,
2
okay.
months. And so that's anywhere between 20 to 40,000 words.
Damn.
And I did it, and I finished something, and
That's
I was
good.
like, wow. Like the rush that I got from finishing a project was really, really nice. So
Right.
I had gone back to chipping away at my dream game, realizing it was going to be forever before I was done. And then I was like, let me pivot, and I'm going to choose a visual novel that's like really small in scope and just finish that. And I had started Heart and Soul. I was like, it's going to be like 50,000 words-ish, and I'll do it in 8 months. And then
Sure.
it ended up being a little bit longer, but it did. We did have it out in 8 months, so that was nice.
But that's kind of like interesting though, that's like kind of where it started, right? It's like, and honestly, like, okay, kind of like bouncing off of what you're saying, like that whole satisfaction of like finishing something that you worked hard on. Would you say that satisfaction is like what led you to want to do more when it comes to game development and just being creative in general?
Absolutely. There's really nothing quite like it, like finishing like a sizable creative project, and just like, I'm done, I did that. And it really boosts your confidence, because I think a lot of people can start something,
Yeah.
but like a lot of people, like, I can be someone that starts something, and I had always been like that, like really easy to, I have like folders of like ideas I had for books and for movies and for TV shows. And then when I pivoted to games, then all of a sudden I had all these ideas for games. But finishing one made me realize, like, not only can I be someone who comes up with an idea, but I can also be someone who finishes the project that I'm working on. And like just that mind shift and how I saw myself and like what I learned about myself was like the biggest game changer.
Right. No, I that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. And actually, for my next question, I'm actually going to mold the two together. So, who would you say was just your general inspiration when you went into Day After Day specifically? Who or what? And then right now, is game development just like I'm going to do this for fun? Or do we plan to, like, in a sense, go more mainstream and do more games?
Yeah, the inspiration specifically for Day After Day are Groundhog Day, the movie, and then Disco Elysium, the game.
Okay.
And it was like an idea that I had, like Groundhog Day, I love that movie, it would be so good as a game. And then it wasn't until I played Disco Elysium that I was like, these mechanics are how it would work. And it all kind of clicked. And then I love Otome, and like I was a kid who went to GameStop, and like there was only, a handful of titles that appealed to me as a young girl, and I love Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon and all that, but I want to just make games right now that have some bit of romance and a female protagonist, and just like would be the games that I would have picked up if I could when I was a kid. So.
Yeah, no, that's kind of interesting that that's the inspiration, to be honest. And like, again, who doesn't love some kind of like Animal Crossing, freaking and I've never played Harvest Moon, but some kind of like Harvest Moon inspiration. Who doesn't love that, to be honest? It's just like, it just feels like that just screams like this is gonna be like, there's gonna be something for everybody, it feels like.
Yeah, I definitely, I like, my games to be a little girl coded,
and girl coded it shall be, shit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
when you're starting to make one of these games, we'll kind of base this just off for Day After Day specifically. What was your preparation routine? Like, did we have a blueprint? Were we like, okay, I'm gonna mentally prepare myself first and then go into it? What was that creation process like?
Right. Okay. Let me circle back 1 second, because I realized I forgot to answer your second question.
Oh yeah.
I consider technically game development on some level is a hobby for me, because I have not made money doing it yet. So like I'm kind of hard on myself. So I'm like, when I make, money, when I profit off of these, then I'll consider it a business. But I am planning to go in that direction, and that's a big part of why this year I set up an LLC and I did a bit of rebranding, and I'm gonna file all new taxes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but to start up day after day, so I had the idea for a while, but I knew it was incomplete. Then I played Disco Elysium. I was like, this is how it would work. And then I went and I wrote up like a game design document. Like, what is the plot? What are the game features? And then Snake supplied a lot of the characters. So then we looked at that. So Groundhog Day, I assume most people are generally like somewhat familiar with the movie, but you have a protagonist who repeats the day and it kind of breaks him down psychologically, and then by the end of the movie he decides to be like a better person.
Right.
But for this particular game, I liked the idea of having two love interests. So and Snake had already created Balazar, this bad boy pirate. And I was like, well, if we have a bad boy pirate love interest, then she needs to be able to get worse.
Right.
And if I want her to be able to get better, then we need a good guy love interest. So then I created Enzo. He's the only character in the game that I came up with. Everyone else is Snake's. But
right.
So just a lot of like thinking. You just kind of think things out, like how do I want the game to go, and then what makes sense for that vision, and how will that kind of affect that.
Exactly. I love that. And honestly, for me, I'm like mostly very excited when it comes to the kind of character designs of someone. Like, I think for me, it's like if the designs of the characters are really good, I know I'm gonna have a great time because I'm just gonna be gushing. And kind of leading into that, what do you use as far as like types of games? It can even extend beyond just visual novels. I mean, what kind of future games are you hoping to make?
So I know specifically with Snake that she had written all these characters and this lore to make a farming sim game, where everyone's kind of scattered across various islands, and then you start on a small island and you have a ship and you start your farm on your little island, but then you use your ship to go from island to island and trade and buy the things that you need and fall in love with various people. So I know she's really excited to go into that, and she's really excited that we're kind of moving day after day from more visual novel heavy to more RPG heavy. And she's really excited that a lot of the new assets and the new code that we'll use are going to be a lot more helpful for her. My next game, so I want to stick with Otome. But my next game, I want to circle back to my dating agency, which was the game that Snake and I did for Otome Jam last year, and it's a little bit more of like a coffee talk kind of game.
Fucking love coffee talk.
Yeah, I don't. So we'll probably have some aspect of mini game. I don't think it'll be making a coffee, but the aspect the hook of the game is that you play a matchmaker who has the ability to, or like, you're a matchmaker who can fall in love with your own clients. So you're like setting people up on dates, and then you're getting to know them really intimately, and then you can decide to pursue a romance with any particular character, and it's gonna be a little messy as their matchmaker, but it'll. The protagonist for that game is very she's very professional, so she'll deal with it in a relatively clean way. But
Gotcha.
So we'll have like a day planner, and you can organize your week and decide which clients to see and decide how to spend your time, and there'll be like a main storyline going on, and then all these things. So it'll feel a little different than a traditional visual novel for sure. And I'm hoping I love narrative heavy games, but it is a little difficult to capture like the mainstream interest with a straight visual novel. Not that it can't be done, and some people do it really well.
Yeah.
But a little bit of gameplay seems to add a little bit more interest for people.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, I feel like visual novels have become like, in a way, like there's a lot that have broken that barrier nowadays. And it's like, we've gotten to the point where like we literally have games like Homocipher, where I'm literally having to freaking go back to basic phonics just to figure out what they're saying. But then at the same time, we also have, again, games kind of like, I'm gonna refer back to this, but Day After Day, where it's just cozy romance. And sometimes we just need that. Sometimes we just need games that are just like, kind of just cozy, kind of just nice, you know. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy the characters and be happy. And, you know, it's just nice to see, you know, like, and it's not even me trying to go on a tangent of like, not everything has to be so fucking deep, but you know, it's nice to have games once in a while that are just cozy. You know, I want to have my Animal Crossing game. And
yeah, for sure.
I know we talked a little bit about like your kind of like ideas sort of going into game development. Has your attitude or vibe towards game development changed during the making of your recent title?
I would say I've always like approached game development, I think, with a little bit more like goal orientated, or like I like structure maybe a little bit more than the average dev. It was very much like, I'm gonna do it in this amount of time, I'm gonna make it happen.
Right.
And this game is similar. You know, I like my structure, I like my goals, but I think the biggest way that my attitudes toward game development have kind of shifted is that I do want to go a little bit more into publishing than I have been. I really like working with other people. Like Snake is a great person to work with. Rena, the writer for my last game, was great to work with, and I helped the Andromeda 6 team a little bit with like just like trailer making and a little bit of the Steam backend process, and it felt really good. And I'm just really interested in bringing more games and more otomes to Steam and across, you know, like just helping them catch people's eye and things like that.
Right. And honestly, like, it's kind of good to be able to develop those kind of cooperation, that kind of like, that again, like that kind of cooperation skills, and just like learning how to kind of like, I guess, like direct like a group of people in a sense, because essentially, I mean, you say you want to do more publishing, it actually makes sense that you'd want to like learn these kind of like, I guess, like core traits, which is really good. And I feel like, you know, even if like, I mean, this is shit that you can take beyond just game development. So it's always just like really great traits to learn, like leadership and how to make sure, how to like organize a group. It's just really nice to be able to have that in your arsenal. And I think we kind of, when we were talking about like the kind of like games that you kind of like to make, I think we already answered the fifth question I was going to get into about the kind of vibe you try to share through your games. Like, we like cozy, which is really great. I love cozy, especially right now because it's kind of cloudy. It actually is perfect. So what I do want to ask is, where do you see you and or HMoon Publishing a year from now? Like, if you had to get a crystal ball and just look at what the future holds for you, what do you see?
I still will be working on Day After Day. I don't think we'll be done in a year. But I think I'll be really excited, I think, to see where Day After Day is at a year from now.
That's
because
good.
we have so many goals planned for next year, but I'd like to have something else in the works as well, even if that's it might just be that we have a little bit more of a plan in place for my dating agency on how we're gonna work on that when Day After Day wraps up. But I don't know. I'm definitely very interested in growth and in working on more projects, and I really like game development. I do.
That's good. That's good though. It's good to have like a optimistic mindset when it comes to like future planning, because I always say this is like, and this isn't even just like for game development, it could be just like in general. If you don't have the drive to finish something or to work on something or to be better at something, then it's just not going to happen. Whatever you want is not going to happen. Like you have to have the motivation and you have to want to do it, right? Because you can want to do it all you want, but if you don't have that drive, it's not going to get done. It's going to be on the back burner. We're going to have another, freaking, what's it called? Like Yandere Simulator or some shit. Like we really don't need another one of those.
Oh god, it's been like 10 years now, hasn't it?
Oh my god. I think about it every day. It's my freaking, what's it called? Like those memes where it's like, oh, like, do you remember the Alamo? Like, no, I remember the anniversary of Yandere Simulator.
No.
So I know you talked about what was it called?
My dating agency.
The dating agency, as far as like future things you want to work on. But is there like any other future plans, maybe future games you want to work on that you would like to share with us?
Ooh, I don't want to make promises I don't know if I can keep. So
Right.
I promise you guys, I'm like, I every now and then I'm like sliding into people's DMs like, let's work together. What do you think of this idea? But
Yeah.
I think right now my dating agency is the only one where I'm like, we are gonna do this. I promise. And then I know
totally
Snake
fair.
is really passionate about her farming game as well. So
Yeah.
we're very hopeful for that.
And that's totally fair too. And it's like, and you know what? I feel like, again, the idea you have for it is really interesting. And I feel like it's gonna work. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who like it. And kind of following that, there might be people that are watching or listening to this either during the live stream or post VOD who want to become a game developer, who want to make their own studio for game development. If you were sitting with either one of these people, what advice would you give them for either or?
Yeah, I think if you're thinking about starting it like as a hobby or a pastime or a business, but you're serious about it, the thing I would ask, and this might be something people have to experiment with on their own to really know, is like, game development is a little bit of like a dream space. Like you're competing with people who want to do this for their dream job.
Right.
And I think any type of like a dream job thing, whether that's like content creation or voice acting, maybe, is just like make sure that you don't mind the grind as much as the people around you. Like if you, like, I would totally, if somebody handed me on a silver platter, like the ability to be like a voice actor in like Baldur's Gate 4 or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down. And I think a lot of people would, but I am not willing to like do all the auditions and the editing and the listening to my own voice and the constant rejection and all that stuff that so many voice actors, like, that is the journey that they have to go on in order to like be the people who get cast in huge amazing games. And I know, like myself, like I would not enjoy that grind, but game development, it's a lot of like when I being narrative heavy, but like gameplay not that complex, so you're working with Ren'Py or something, it's a lot of like, let me copy paste this sentence and copy paste this line of code to change the expressions, and it's can be a little bit brain dead in that way. Like scripting is just a long, mundane task. marketing is kind of throwing your head at the wall. Like, you can make 100 posts on Twitter and get like 400 likes all together or whatever. So yeah, so just do your own research and do your own experimentation into like, what do game devs complain about the most? Do you think like that would be a deal breaker to you? Like, I typically don't mind scripting, and I don't really mind how marketing, and for me, that's what kind of seals the deal. It's like, the fun parts are fun for everybody, but for me, like, the worst parts, like, they're not that bad.
Right, exactly. And honestly, it's like, you can apply that to just anything in general. It's always good to like research into like, hey, like, given that these are things that I have to do or have to deal with, am I still cool for doing this thing? You could even take this into streaming, you know, like, do I like talking on and on for maybe 2 to 3 hours, give or take, and it feels like you're talking to yourself, but really you're talking to people? Like, am I cool with that? Am I also cool with maybe, you know, views dropping? Am I going to be chill with that? So honestly, I think it's like really sound advice you give, which I'm actually like, it's pretty nice, you know, especially like because the things he specifically said can be so like general, and it can be applied to everybody, which is really nice, and I'm here for that. And this is actually where we're going to go off into our closing questions. So, how has becoming a game developer changed your life, if it's ever changed it at all?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna get into the weeds here a little bit. So
oh boy.
when I decided to make Heart and Soul, and I was like, I'm gonna do it in 8 months. Sure. I had a 1-year-old baby, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So for me, I had always like really wanted a family, really wanted a stay-at-home mom. So it wasn't that like these were my choices coming true, but I felt like for me there was something missing. And I watched this video on happiness. So there's this happiness expert, a Harvard professor named Arthur Brooks, who does a lot of lectures, and he's written a book on the topic of happiness.
Yeah.
He broke it down that happiness comes in 3 parts. So there's enjoyment, there's satisfaction, and then there's purpose. So I had a very enjoyable, purposeful life. Like, I love kids, I love babies, so, and you know, absolutely would lay my life down for my kids, like very meaningful. But I didn't have a ton of satisfaction, because a lot of homemaking is the same tasks over and over again. You know, like the laundry always needs to be done, and like you could do like not that great job on laundry, and it doesn't really matter. So I wanted that feeling of like to check a task off the to-do list. I like looking at numbers. I like things like that. So for me, it was a lot of what game dev gives me is just that feeling of satisfaction. I like organizing. I make tons of like to-do lists, and these are our goals for the next 3 months, and crossing stuff off, and watching wish lists come in, and just all of that. And it's really hard to get that from taking care of small children. It's just a different kind of very different worlds.
Definitely, exactly. And would you say, you know, given all of that kind of like mushed together in its little melting pot, would you say that game development taught you anything about yourself that you didn't already know before?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm reminded a little bit of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We're going way back to like high school.
Yeah.
And there's just this pyramid, right, where as soon as you fulfill like the things people need the most, say like I think it's like shelter and food, whatever. It's not that people are happy, it's that now they want the next level of things. So I think for me, somebody I was really driven, I really wanted to start my family life, and then realizing from that that like, oh crap, like that did give me a lot, and I do need what it gave me, but there's things now that I need. So it's just game development has definitely like, it's taught me a lot about what it kind of means to be like an adult, and the kind of things that an adult needs to have in their lives in order to feel satisfied and to feel motivated.
Right.
And and then I've taught myself a ton of like little skills. Being a game dev, you have to wear like a lot of hats, so I had to like do the UI for the games, and it's something I'd never done before, and like I'd never even dabbled in graphic design, so that was
so would you say that graphic design has become your passion?
No.
Damn it. Well, it doesn't have to be, you know, maybe for some people graphic design is their passion, and that's where UI, you know, comes in, and it's great.
Yeah.
And then actually for the final question of today, is there any like maybe a Discord, maybe a social media, or like a message board? Is there anything of those where people who are interested in your works can see more of it or interact with the community?
Yeah, I've got a Discord. Let me see. I can adjust that maybe and then pop it in the chat.
I don't know if it'll let you to send. I need to actually fix that to where it'll allow you to send like links. The only reason why I haven't for that chat is because like, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to click on shit and it ends up getting me TOS. That's my thing. I'm like, I mean, I know they will be able to see it on there, but I'm like, oy, you know.
Well, I think if you go to if you go to HMoon Publishing, I think yes, we do have like a Discord link.
Oh, there you go.
HMoon Publishing.
There you go.
Yeah, so you can just go to hmoonpublishing.com and then go to contact, scroll all the way down, see the little Discord icon. There you go.
Okay, perfect. And
yeah, we've got our server set up to where you can subscribe to like whatever game you're interested in, and then you'll get alerts about that particular game.
Oh, great. And then another thing too, do you want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter that we have pinned in the chat?
Yeah, absolutely. So our Kickstarter, it's just we made this demo in the summer, and it's in Ren'Py. It's very visual novel heavy, and it's a little bit stretching the limits of what Ren'Py could do. So we were really interested in moving over to Unity and adding the ability to walk around, like in a Stardew Valley game type thing. And so we put out a Kickstarter to help because we'll need all new art, and then more programming and more QA testing to make sure we can put out something a little smoother without bugs and things like that. So
right. So yeah. Those who are
oh yeah, so like I'm happy to put fair bit of my own money into the game, but it would help a lot.
Right. And it actually looks like we have 94 backers. That is crazy. Congratulations on that, by the way. 94 backers, that's insane.
Yeah, no, it's really encouraging.
Chat, please,
really
more.
Nice.
Chat, please. Oh my god, that's crazy. So I have the Kickstarter link, I have the festival link, and then I have the actual Steam link for the game. That's all going to be in the pinned. Those links are also going to be published in the description for the VOD upload of this on YouTube. That's Creme's Drama and VODs. That's literally right next to me. You can't see it, but it's right there. And we're also going to post the HMoon.com site as well, so that way you can get access to the Discord server and, you know, get updates and all that stuff. But thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me, Gwen. It's great.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for having me. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, and I'm just excited to get into the game, you know, like given that we had this prelude. Like I'm hyped, to be honest. I'm stoked.
Yeah, okay. I hope you like your MCs really sassy.
Let's go! Thank you so much. I will we'll see you later, is what I'll say.
Sounds good. Thanks.
No problem, no problem. Bye. This is great. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and load up the game on my end, because I'm gonna do it through my laptop again, because Steam has a little silly thing where if your specific Mac hardware is not like the most oldest piss shit hardware, then you can't run this. So it's really dumb. But I have the demo. I believe that's what I have. It's the demo. Yeah, because the one I have, I believe, is just the demo, which is totally fine. This is just the only way that I was able to run it, so we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna go ahead and load it, and then we're gonna transition into our game screen. Once this, there we go. I was gonna say once this finishes loading. Okay, and then that, and then this. I know my alphabet. Okay, this is day after day. And, oh, this isn't even the whole thing. Oh, it just takes you to the website, which is really awesome. Very poggers. Oh my god, that sound scared me. I forgot I had laundry going. That scared me. Okay, new game. Archetype. Okay, brains, beauty, brawn, average. Okay, 5 IQ, 2 IQ, 1 physical. I'm gonna go with an average. I feel like I'm average. Yay. Is this me? Hi. Upon prying your heavy lids, you spy a stranger who meets your groggy gaze. Who the hell are you? Proving that old saying about sailors and swearing right, I see. I'm a sailor? I love sailing. My god. Okay, let me lower this a little bit. There we go. That's better. I'm the woman who saved your life. I would have thought that that'd be enough to be remembered, but I suppose even I'm wrong now and again. Is anything from late last night coming back to you? Thinking back, the sound of explosions and thundering rain echo in your ears. Wait, oh, what the fuck? It feels like, so it's kind of like D&D then, where it's just like, oh, like, by probability, you're able to fucking figure out this shit. That's awesome. Okay. Thinking back, the sound of explosions and thundering rain echo in your ears. Then pain, sharp and agonizing, followed by the sensation of falling, drowning, more pain, only pain. It spreads quickly into every inch of your consciousness until you can think of nothing else. As you return to the present, the pain follows. Everything hurts, on a level somewhere between the third time you were stabbed and the time you were stabbed twice. Or thrice. Stabilize. Trivial success. Nice. No, wait, not everything. The pain is in two areas. The first being a sharp, excruciating ache on your left shoulder. As the fingers from your right hand brush against it, even your own gentle, probing touch is enough to send air hissing through between your teeth. There's shrapnel embedded into your skin. The wound is wet and oozing with what you hope is blood alone. Your head is killing you, aching unlike anything you've ever known. The nights spent closing down taverns with a mug of ale in your hand don't even come close. Your eyes screw shut and your expression contorts as the pain consumes you, overtaking your body and brain. Even facing the full force of the sunlight seems too difficult a task. The strong scent of salt tickles your nose. Along with seaweed and iodine, the unmistakable combination of the ocean's odor. Some of the tension in your body lessens as you breathe in deeply. You feel more at home with this fragrance than any kind of greenery, certainly more than anything man-made. With worn wood against your back and the soft swaying of the vessel against the water's waves, you attempt to steel your mind against the agony. Perhaps you can return to your previous state of unconsciousness, one that was so blissful in comparison to this. Until it hits you that you shouldn't be snoozing on a hard deck, but rather on a bed in the cozy quarters of your ship. Though there should be some motion while on board, the movement suggests The movement that you're feeling now suggests a smaller water crab. Okay, tiny boat. This isn't your room. It's not even the deck of your boat. Let me see. What happened to my ship? Beats me. By the time I showed up, there was only wreckage. Well, and the floating body on top of it. So, who the fuck do I have to... Who do I have to talk to for fucking with my boat? Return while that blows. Floating body. Wreckage. There was a lot of splintered wood floating around. Seems likely an entire ship went down. Your ship? Your home, the one containing your valuables, your documents, your clothing, all gone? It took you a very long time to save up the money to buy that ship, and allowed you to take odd jobs and to travel across all the islands. Without some act of providence to help, it could be a very long time before you leave Vadina. The last thing you want is to be stuck here longer than you need to be. Considering that you can't remember if or why you had to set sail to this place to begin with, there's some chance that you don't need to be here at all. You need to find a way off this island. Oh, quest unlocked. Find passage off of Vadina Island. Okay. Floating body. The woman studies you, one corner of her lips twitching as she does. That would be you, of course. It didn't seem right to just leave you floating in the ocean, so I hauled you into my boat and docked nearby here in Vadina. I was headed here anyway, so it wasn't much of a nuisance. You're welcome, by the way. Well, that blows. Well, I think we just answered that. We're in Vadina. Bring me back to my... Well, while my boat's gone. Stand upright and disembark. Oh! I get dice! Oh, shit! I don't know if you guys saw that. There was like a little, there was a little dice thing that rolled, and then I fucking got it. That's sick. I love that. A groan escapes your lips as you struggle onto your feet and off the shaky sailboat. Though you gain your bearings once your legs are on steady land, losing the sway of the sea costs you a sense of comfort. You're stuck on this island now, without any means of getting off this island and without any reason to be here. Now on solid ground, you take sense of yourself and your surroundings. This is you. Oh, that's me. You're in rough shape, but it's nothing you can't handle. You grasp for an understanding of what to call yourself. We're gonna make a custom name. My name is Creme. That's right. It's slowly coming back to you now. You're Creme. You silently take stock of the few things left in your person. It seems this mystery woman managed to save an old backpack and a waterlogged journal, as well as your sorry ass. What's in here? Bonuses from... Oh, shit! Okay, sick. Okay. And this is our map. Oh. Not much, but okay. And then journal. Main quest line, side quest. Oh, okay, sick. Oh! We can even see right here. Okay. Acuity, analyze, arcana, archive SS, charm, course, connive, convince, comprehend, snatch, sneak, stabilize, strength stuff. Okay, interesting. That's why we were able to fucking get it. There's the explore button on the bottom of the map. Is there? Okay, hold on. Let me look. Let me go look at it. You wander onto a cozy street corner, drawn in by the enticing scent of fresh-baked bread and coffee that permeates the surrounding air. There must be some place to eat around here. You know it's going to lead you astray, not when you're half dead and desperate anyway. I literally have a fucking long-ass... I could have died, apparently. Look at that fucking scar, dude. Good lord. Good lord. Anyway, continue. Oh, can I... Oh, I can click on shit. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna click on this. Ooh, oh, hi. The server smiles at you amidst the hum of service and conversation. I'm gonna ignore these. Hi, sweetie. Come right on in. I'm Vivi. We're not serving our full menu today, but if you'd like to take... if you'd like, you may take a seat at any open table, and I'll be with you in 2 turns of a fairy's wings. 2 turns of a what now? Is this a little expression I invented? It means I'll be with you in a moment. I'm gonna have a seat. You slide to an open seat near a window, wincing as the change of position pulls out your injured side. Who knew having shrapnel embedded into your skin would be such a pain in the ass? Vivi must notice you picking at your wound. As soon as she arrives at your side, as she soon arrives at your side with a worried expression. I know how to say words. I know English. Oh, sweetie, that looks awful. What happened? Have you gotten that looked at by your doctor yet? Also, she's really pretty. I love pink so much. No, my ship was attacked. Whole thing shot to pieces. Vivi's large eyes turn dewy as she listens to the curt summary of your story. That's just awful. I'm so thankful you made it through alive and are here talking with me now. Now, is there anything I can do to make your day a little easier? Are you hungry? Thirsty? Do you want some fresh clothes? I would love some fresh clothes, actually. How about a recommendation for a doctor or a shipwright? Need someone to give you the rundown on who's who and what's what in this town? You'd lend me some of your clothes? Honey, you can keep them. Making clothes is a passion of mine. I'd be thrilled to help you out and have someone model my designs. To be honest with you, I've been a little shy about designing clothes for other people, and I've mostly just made things for myself. The sizing will be a little off, but the outfit is yours if you want it. Shit. Sure, I'll take it. New clothing unlocked! Consider it yours. Change into them whenever you're comfortable. The clothes are a bit frillier than you expected. Not really your style, but there's no rips in sight. At the very least, you won't constantly be at risk of a wardrobe malfunction. Thanks, I guess. Maybe something in black next time. Ooh, I haven't worked much with dark colors. I'll have to make some time to buy some fabric at the market. She's too nice to me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm over here being a genuine asshole, and you're too nice to me. God, you do that. Was there anything else you wanted to ask me? Sure. How do I find the doctor? You show Vivi your map, but she points to a specific spot with swiftness and ease. Location unlocked, doctor's office. Yay! Right there, sweetie. This place will take good care of you. The doctor makes house calls sometimes, but I think the office will be open today. You'll have to head over there and see for yourself to know for sure. Before I go, I wanted to ask, what about the shipwright? Vivi's eyes alight with affectionate familiarity. His name is Moss. He's an exceptionally kind man and a genius at his craft. He comes to visit Vadina now and again, and over a fact he got into town yesterday. Moss said he's looking for a buyer for a new ship of his. He'll likely have it docked at the town port. You think he'll help me? Absolutely. He's such a generous and empathetic person. I can't imagine him not helping someone in need. This is exactly the kind of person you could really use. Someone spineless who you can easily sucker into doing your bidding. Oh my god! One other thing. Could I get a menu? Not today, I'm afraid. The kitchen is closed while Chef Cameron prepares for the event we're helping to cater tonight. I can get you some bread or pastries he made in advance for today if you're okay with that, and I'd be happy to get you something to drink. Yeah, I'm hungry. As your stomach crumbles, it occurs to you that you don't have a single coin to your name. Sustenance will have to wait. What event? It's the birthday party for the Duke's daughter, Eden. The whole island is talking about it. There are many from other islands sailing in to attend. Cameron is honored to be able to participate. It's a great opportunity to promote his food to so many new people. Are you going? Of course, I wouldn't miss it. I'll be helping Cameron serve and plate the food. I was invited to attend as a guest, but I don't have anyone to go with. If I'm going to be alone anyway, I might as well help my friend. Oh! Hi, Vaughn. Hi, honey. I love you. I know that's you, honey. What an unusual way to refer to one's boss. You really aren't sure what to make of Vivi's friendly, upbeat nature. It makes your surliness stand out like a sore thumb. In a good way, though. Cheeriness is overrated. Brooding is where it's at. I actually need to get going. Okay, inventory. I can change my clothes now. Equip. Oh, I look so pretty! It looks so pretty! Fuck yeah, it looks so pretty! Bonuses from items. Do I get any bonuses? Oh, okay. Charm 1, course -1. Interesting. Oh, interesting. So our clothes can give us freaking... it literally is kind of like D&D. That's interesting. Sorry, yes. Okay, that's where we left off. The journal should be more useful once it's had time to dry. You also find a pocket watch. Looks like it still keeps accurate time. You turn your attention back to your unwitting savior. You don't look so good. Do you have a map of the city? I haven't spent much time in Vedina myself, but there's gotta be a doctor around here somewhere. You think this is bad? This is nothing, because I want to impress you, and I'm a little bastard. The woman raises an eyebrow at your bravado. She doesn't think you're the sharpest sword in the sheet. Listen, I'm a himbo, okay? Shut up. Oh my god. Well, with you back in your own 2 feet, I suppose this is where we part ways. Wait, really? Wait, before I go. What's your name? They call me Sion, and by they, I mean me. I didn't catch your name back when I was saving you from drowning and bleeding out. Who are you? Oh, well, okay, do I trust her? Yeah. It's Creme. I'll keep that in mind. Best of luck to you going wherever you're going and doing whatever you're doing. One more thing. Where are we? This is Vedina. Does that sound familiar? Were you headed here? Vedina, one of the many islands scattered across this world, known for its unique meritocratic government structure. The nobles that run this island invest heavily in its craftsmen and tradesmen. They're both entrepreneurs and royalty. It's a system ripe for abuse. You don't trust it, no matter how much wealth and false generosity the Vedanian nobles flaunt. In fact, you're certain they're exploiting their people. There's no way in hell a small number of people hold all that money, power, and influence and only use it for good. Despite your confidence, you can't recall a time where anyone else has shared your doubts. Perhaps while you're here, you might be able to uncover some evidentiary support for your suspicions. Oh, okay, we'll be able to collect proof. Yay! Anything else you wanted to ask? No, that's okay. Oh, it's 10:58. Oh, okay. Anything else we can click on? Okay, I think it's just him. Hello? Hi, I'm Creme. I'm very polite. The man meets your eyes with his own, waiting for you to continue. He clearly suspects you want something from him. I'm Moss. Nice to make your acquaintance as well, Creme. Was there something you wanted to discuss? Yeah, there is. Is the boat yours? Why, yes. Do you like it? I built it myself. I love it. You must be so proud of your work. You're too kind, but yes, I'm very proud. I even started my own business a few years ago, so I could devote most of my time towards being a shipwright. I enjoy what I do so much that it almost seems strange to think of it as work. It's even stranger to think that running a business centered around my passion could be as trying as it is at times. All that aside, the boat is actually for sale. Are you interested? How much to buy the boat? 10,000 gold. I'm broke as fuck. You think I could it's a bit out of my price range. Whoa! I'm not. Holy shit! I am a god. You bat your eyelashes if you have time to flash a coquettish smile. Yes, I mean, no, actually, okay, 9,000 gold then. Thanks, Peach. I'll be back later. Hey, how's your body going, babe? I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but, that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, map. Cafe, offices. Let's go to offices. Oh! Hello, new character. What are you doing? Resting. What does it look like I'm doing? I don't fucking know. I'm just asking. Though the stranger tries to look indifferent, you catch a nearly imperceptible wince as they try to put weight on the right ankle. Looks like you hurt your ankle. Isn't a doctor's office supposed to be around here somewhere? The stranger pales. It's not that bad. I'd just be wasting the doctor's time. So what's your plan then? Don't need one. It doesn't even hurt. I'll just wrap some cloth around it and it'll get better on its own. Oh. Chat, this one has baggage. Chat, this one's got issues. I can already tell. This one has issues. I love them with issues. Are you sure you don't want the doctor to take a look? Doctor? Where? Do you have an apple that might help? No, why would I need that? All doctors have a phobia of apples. That's why an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Everyone knows that. While you expect a dry chuckle or an eye roll in response, what you get is a scrutinizing stare. You do your best to maintain a straight face. I need to go to the market. To buy an apple? What I buy is my business. Farewell. Okay. All right. The door opens, allowing you to peer inside a dim, empty reception room. There's a little sign on the main desk that reads, "Out on a house call, we'll be back tomorrow," in barely legible handwriting. You shut the door, seeing no reason to look further. Damn. Well, I guess I'll look in my map. Okay, we've been to the cafe, been to the port. Let's go exploring again. With your wanderlust guiding you, you soon walk into a quiet street lining a canal. The many hidden nooks and alleyways allow for easy concealment while one people watches those passing on their boats. I totally read that right. Ooh. Anything else I can click on, or is it just this? Yeah, it's just this. A poorly illustrated wanted poster hangs across the side of the building. The name listed on the ad is The Shadow. The creature featured. It's the creature feature featuring the creature. You can check cafe again. Oh, no, you're all good. I mean, I can go back and check it in a minute, actually. The hustle and bustle of... Oh, fuck. No! Take me back! Fuck it, I'll go to the cafe again. Oh! Hello, new person. The icy stare of the young woman stops you in your tracks before you make it to her table. You are not welcome in her presence. She fucking hates you. Someone has lunch there 12 to 1, another from 1 to 2. The alley person shows up between 4 and 8. Got it. Oh, it says the time right there. I'm so dumb. It says it right there. Ignore her back. Her loss. Your preface is a table for 1 anyway. It's not. Though you may be accustomed to sailing or dining alone, company is welcome. I want to talk to her again. I don't want to throw something at her. I'm gonna insult her. Your dress is ugly. Like, really ugly. For a moment there, I thought it was my eyes that were bleeding and not my stomach wound. For a moment, the woman's eyes narrow as the server beside her turns red and immediately starts fussing over her. An effective of your verbal assault looks you up and down, her gaze catching on your blood-stained blouse and disheveled appearance. Her annoyance turns to amusement. People in glass houses should refrain from throwing stones, don't you think? Okay, I don't like you. Okay, you're kind of giving me attitude. I don't like that. Why? Don't do that. What the fuck? You couldn't have seen that coming. You aren't winning beauty pageants on your good days, and this certainly isn't one of them. I think I'm gonna ask you to leave. The woman raises her hand up to stop the server's speech. Oh, please, Vivi, I'm not bothered in the slightest. This is not going to ruin my birthday. My sweet brother already took care of that. The server pales. She begins to fidget, her fingers nervously twitching and touching together. Oh my god. Lady Eden, I'm sure that Lord Enzo will be here any minute. He was so excited to plan this lunch for you. Even if he misses it, I'm sure it'll be for good reason. The snob snorts. She looks up at her server with annoyance written clear as day across her features. Don't defend him to me. I should have known he wouldn't show. He probably chose some kitten stuck in a tree or an old lady with grocery bags over me. He always does. Well, isn't it nice that he wants to help the community? Yes, for the community, not for me, Vivi. Right. Let's just hope he can tear his attention away for long enough to attend my birthday party tonight. I won't be holding my breath. Vivi looks increasingly uncomfortable, apparently torn between entertaining this lady and the rest of her server duties. Upon noticing you still standing there and watching them, she looks to you with pleading eyes. Please, sweetie, take your seat somewhere else. Lady Eden doesn't want to be disturbed. Man! What the fuck ever? Can I keep talking to you? Yeah, never mind. Yeah, fuck off. Nah, fuck you. Suck my dick. Fuck you. We're gonna keep exploring. Okay. Gonna stay in the canal, looks alleyways. Okay. And then we were looking at this. The hustle and bustle of Vidinians keeps you from getting a closer look at the reward information. Perhaps if you return in the afternoon, it wouldn't be so crowded. You step away from the poster while pondering the possibility. Okay. Let me look at my shit. Do I have anything else? No. But that's okay. Okay. The last thing we came to was the shipwreck. I'm gonna talk to you again. Why are you hanging around the docks? Aren't you a curious one? I'm looking for someone, that's all. In that case, shouldn't you be out there looking? No, I should be right here looking. What you see before you are the only docks in Vidina. No one should be able to leave this island without me seeing them. Won't you need to sleep at some point? Well, yes, and eat, I suppose, among other things. Maybe I could find someone who'd be willing to stay here and be on the lookout whenever I need a break. Perhaps you... Not a chance. It's a lot to ask from a stranger. I should have planned this all out better, but I've never attempted to track someone down like this before. Desperate times call for desperate measures, as they say. Not my problem. Oh my god! Unless you're wrong about there being no other docks. Unless I'm... Oh yeah, I do see your point. If there are more docks out there, I suppose I'm out of luck and out of business. Seriously, your business is failing? The world's surface is 95% water. Demand isn't the issue. I just don't have the best negotiating skills. I set prices that I know to be fair, but I find myself backtracking and second guessing when it comes time to actually take someone's money. Honestly, I wish there was someone who could run the business side of the business for me, so I could spend my days doing what I do best, stress-free. I'll let you know if I find someone who can help as long as we stop talking about this now. What do you do when you find them? I'll ask them to give me back what they borrowed. And you think they'll just comply out of the goodness of their hearts? Of course they will. They're my friends after all. I know they'll pay me back once they see how much trouble I'm in. Oh, you sweet summer child. What? You don't think they'll give me back the money? Of course they won't give you back the money! Oh gosh, oh no, I'd be ruined. I really hope it doesn't come down to that. I need them to see reason, to have compassion just as I did for them. How about I go and make them see reason? Really? You do that for me, a complete stranger? I can't pay you. You can pay me in boat? Fair enough. You give me the money, I'll lend you my ship. Tell me a little about this so-called friend of yours. His name is Balazar, and he works in import and export redistribution. Balazar? What an unusual name. You've never heard of him, but if anything, that's a good sign. The less notorious the individual, the easier they are to find. This Balazar will be able to escape you. What's he look like? Moss grins at your question. Oh, you can't miss him. He's missing an eye. Come again? His ship got attacked years ago. Someone shot his eye out. To this day, you can see bone. Did he ever catch who did it? I'm not sure. I know he's never stopped looking. He said he sometimes takes his ship out into the water just to see if he spots that one that attacked him all those years ago. So exactly how much money am I trying to get back here? The man falters. He avoids meeting your eye. Is that really necessary? Can't you just ask him? Yeah, man, it is. How else would I know he paid up? He could lie and give me less than he owes. I have no way to verify the count. Moss mumbles something under his breath. It sounds a whole lot like 2,500 gold. I'm sorry, I'm selectively hard of hearing. Did you say you loaned him 2,500 gold? I'm so sorry, I gotta head out early. Just a heads up that going to the manor initiates into the demo. All good. Fantastic. No, you're all good. Yes, you heard right. Seriously, where do I sign up to be your friend? I have a hell of a sob story and I love money. This could be the start of something beautiful. Moss looks unconvinced. So where do I start looking? We got together for a drink last night, but I'm afraid I don't remember anything about where he's staying or why he's in town. What's the name of the bar? Something Tavern? To be honest, I stumbled into the first establishment that served alcohol and just happened to run into him. He brought us several rounds. I could barely remember leaving the place. Though you'd be the last person to raise a brow at rampant alcohol consumption, Moss still looks sheepish. I don't normally drink that much, but with someone else buying and my business going how it is, I literally don't care. I think that's everything. I'm gonna start looking. Explore. Alley, Port, Cafe, offices. I'm going to go to the alley. Oh wait, this is the same place, huh? Yeah, it is. Forged to tears, you set out walking north and stop as you approach an ostentatious manner. A strange sense of foreboding comes over you. You get the feeling that if you continue forward, you'll see something that you won't be able to unsee. At the same time, there's a part of you that urges to push on. Whatever may lie ahead, you cannot escape learning the answer. Are you ready to continue? I'm gonna turn back actually. Yeah. I want to see something real quick. Okay, perfect. As you examine the crudely drawn wanted poster and an impressive reward listed for capture, a man's voice called out to you from the darkness. Startled, you accidentally ripped the drawing right off the message board. You hastily stuffed it in your pocket. Looking for the shadow, are you? Now what could a pretty little thing like you want with a guy like him? Don't call me pretty! I'm married! The shadow. You know that name. Something deep within you burns when you hear it. You search for memories, for information, for answers, only to come up empty. First of all, compliments are gross. Ew, you called me pretty. That's disgusting. Ew. Also, we're coming up on ads in about less than 10 seconds. If you want to skip those, be sure to look at getting into fucking, grabbing a subscription or maybe turbo. Okay, we'll see you after ads. Okay, now we gotta continue. First of all, compliments are disgusting. Second of all, compliments coming from strange men in dark alleys are extra gross. And third of all, tell me why this guy sounds familiar or I'll hurt you. For a moment, all you hear is silence. You wonder if maybe you scared this mystery man away. You've never heard of the Shadow? The infamous pirate, both fierce and revered by all, the captain of the Scimitar? Something about that man's tone irritates you. It's as if he's implying that you should be well aware of this random pirate. Perhaps you should recognize him. Since you awoke this morning after the wreck, your memories become foggy. It's not inconceivable that you would come across mentions of the Shadow in your bounty hunter work. Your memory remains blank. Maybe meeting the Shadow could jog it? Any idea where I could find him? I'd like to introduce myself. Curious about him, are we? If you're up for adventure, I'd make the journey to the western coast. I hear the Shadow and his crew are hiding out in some secret beach somewhere. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to see you. Oh please, there's a $20,000 gold bounty on his head. The pleasure would be all mine. Here for the money, huh? Don't be surprised if he gives you a run for it. He won't be running for long, I guarantee it. So, you're going to head out and look for him then? Going to an unknown, vague location given to you late at night by a stranger doesn't seem like the brightest of ideas. Pass. Suit yourself. I think it could be worth a shot. The fact that you say that is exactly what makes me suspicious. Goodbye. Okay. Let me go to the cafe. Can I? Or is it closed? Oh, never mind. Okay, back to map. Or Ellie. I guess we can explore again. After wandering around aimlessly for what seems like ages, you find yourself back at the port where you first woke this morning. It seems your feet has taken you as far as they could in terms of finding cool new places. Oh, okay. I want to continue, please. As you finish crossing a long bridge over glittering ocean water, a magnificent manor comes into your line of sight. No sooner do your eyes lay on it does your head begin to ache with immense pain, a migraine that matches the strength of the one that awoke you this very morning. You've never been here, but you've seen this place before. Your memory comes back to you in flashes. You see yourself examining blueprints of the manor, combing over every escape route. You recall getting onto your ship with gear specifically chosen for this journey, as well as setting a course straight for Verdina. There's no doubt about it. You've meant to come here, to this exact spot. You try to pry your head as to why, but doing so makes the pain grow intolerable, unbearable. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemies, any of them. You scream until your brain puts you out of your misery. Your eyes close and the last thing you feel is your head cracking against the stone pathway. Damn. And that's the demo, Chad! Holy shit! Let's go, dude! Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so that was the demo. And that's so far that's the only thing I can run, which is totally fine. Let me go into my try screen real quick. So I had a really good time with that, honestly. That shit felt good. That shit felt great, actually. So I'll tell you what we're going to do next. So what I'm going to do, I could do another game just like really quick. And then we'll go from there. So what I think I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and run Taisho Romance Theater again. And we'll go from there. But before that, I have to go to the bathroom. So I will be right back with that. Just let me do this real quick. Okay, I will be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom. And we're going to go get into more games. So give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back, chat. So, what we're gonna do now... I'm not gonna end the stream early, but we're gonna continue our delve into Taisho Romance Theater. That one is also the demo, but I feel like we can finish it. I feel like we can finish it for this stream. I feel like during this stream, we'll finish it. That's what I meant to say. There we go. That's what I meant to say. Okay, and then it's going to be... Okay. And we're going to go ahead and load it up again. Because I believe where we last left off was with the cop. I believe that's where we last left off. Okay. Yeah. And then we're going to skip a lot of this. Because we are... Yeah. We went through a lot of this last stream. Yeah, here was where we last left off. Yeah. Okay. Now, I believe, yeah, right here was where we left off. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then I'm actually going to grab another game real quick. We might be able to get through more of these actually. But let me see. Yeah, we went over the white monster thing. That's right. Okay, yeah, we went over that. And I said, apologies, I want to head back. And then they were dead. Boo-hoo. Okay, where was I at? That's right. Here we were. I turn around and see several young men and women stepping out of the shop, smiling with a cool distance that is instantly recognizable. After exchanging the typical farewell pleasantries, they don their coats and depart in twos and threes. The last remaining person is a woman dressed in a pink suit. As soon as the others have left, the smile vanishes from her face. Her lips curl downward and her brows furrow in slight dissatisfaction. The wariness she now exudes is at odds with her age and her elegant outfit. Finally, she scrubs her hands across her face, exhaling a cloud of white breath. I look away, putting these strangers and their seemingly less than pleasant drinking party out of my mind. The car still isn't here. I hear someone trudging through the snowdrifts, their footsteps heading towards me in fits and starts. Soon, the woman's voice I heard earlier speaks again, now right behind me. Are you waiting for the streetcar? At this hour, it's going to be a while. I turn. The woman lifts the brim of her hat slightly to reveal her face. Her bearing is dignified as she stands before me, scanning my haggard visage with her wary but bright eyes. But I have absolutely no recollection of that face. You're Kotori Sakuma, aren't you? It's a declaration. She speaks with her arms folded, her slender brows knitted once again. As if her stare might bore right through me, into the snowy landscape at my back, and all the way to the streetcar some unfathomable distance away. I'm sorry, do I know you? Her next words catch her throat and her eyes fly open wide. I could practically see, so it's true, and it wasn't a lie after all, written across her every feature. Are you serious? Never mind. I'm Yayoi Sakurai. I believe that's how you say that. Sakurai. Off the top of my head, the only thing that name brings to mind is the Sakurai family. Or, more accurately, corporation. They hopped on board the Meiji Restoration a few decades ago and made a fortune in textiles and foreign trade. But compared to other influential or well-connected families, the Sakurai family, while endowed with eye-watering wealth, lacked what was truly important to the upper class, a pedigree. She scrutinizes my expression before slowly parting her lips again. Yes, that's right, one of those Sakurai. I rack my brains, but I can't remember having run afoul of a fine young lady like this. And I don't think the troupe has ever received any related illustrious. Sakurai pinches the sleeves of her suit. They're studded with a pair of sapphire cufflinks that flash in the lamplight. The jewels' hues glow clear in the golden settings, and they scintillate bright as a flame. I believe that's how you say that fucking word. These are indeed befitting of the daughter of a Sakurai family. But perhaps in an attempt to emphasize their lavishness, the cufflinks are encrusted in so much gold ornament it overshadows the sapphires. It seems like a waste of fine gems. Sakurai purses her lips. A trace of regret enters her expression. I wanted to see you. I thought they were lying to me since, after all. Nope, forget it. Pretend I didn't say anything. You don't know me, and that's for the best. If anyone asks, just say we didn't meet tonight. It'll be better for both of us. If you're waiting here, I must be keeping you from something else, yes? And it's so cold out. I'll give you a lift. Think of it as an apology. As I mentioned, at this hour, it'll be ages before the streetcar shows up. You're going to be frozen solid. Perhaps because of all the bizarre goings-on and the people I've been dealing with lately, Sakurai's behavior doesn't strike me as unusual. It even sparks a faint, surreal sensation that I've come back in touch with human society. It's not a bad feeling. Since I remember nothing, and this is all clearly a hindrance to her, it must have something to do with my forgotten surname. If so, it'd be best if we owe each other nothing. I'd appreciate that. I'm going to GK Hospital. Oh? Very well. Here's my car. Let's go. A black car slowly comes to a stop at the side of the road, and a young woman gets out and opens the back door. Sakurai signals to me to board. Then she herself settles into the passenger seat. To GK Hospital. No, wait, is there a flower shop near the hospital? We'll head there first. A flower shop? You can't visit a patient empty-handed, and you don't seem to be in that much of a hurry, yes? You could do with smelling some flowers, too. You look so ill. You're gonna have nightmares. Sorry, looking at something real quick. But there won't be any flower shops open this late. Sakurai pauses at my words, then bursts out laughing. I could tell you're new in town. This is Ginza in Tokyo. You can always buy anything. Once her laughter fades, she turns to glance at the woman turning the crankshaft on the car. The woman has one arm planted on the hood of the car, her sleeve rolled up to the elbow. She seems to be pressing down quite hard. Before we got to Tokyo, our assigned driver chatted with us from time to time. According to him, each time you start the car, you have to manually insert the crank into the front of the car and turn it several times. But cranking the lever takes a lot of strength, and you have to be careful it doesn't kick back and break your fingers once the engine starts. It's a job that calls for the utmost concentration, and few people take it on. At the time, I thought he was just trying to justify a higher fee, but now it seems like he was telling the truth. I had to friggin' fix my jaw. My god. Is she your driver? Yes. A bead of sweat forms on the woman's forehead. Her teeth are gritted, her cheeks bulging. Sakurai simply casts her gaze further down the road, not looking at either me or the driver. Her voice lowers as well. Is there something you'd like to say? Come on, I don't bite. Nothing. As long as you pay her wages and she does all the work, it's all fine. The car rumbles thunderously, and the seats jolt before settling back into a milder vibration that doesn't make my head spin. With a belch of steam, the engine comes to life. Having started the car, the woman returns to the driver's seat. Sakurai's shoulders relax, and she leans against the headrest. We have to get going before it starts snowing again. The car grinds through the accumulated snow on both sides of the street, churning up flakes like goose down. They crumble into tiny particles that flutter through the air like a miniature snowfall, landing in the bare ruts of the car's wake. The woman drives steadily. The scenery slowly scrolls by outside the window. The car passes through an intersection, drawing ever closer to the hospital. Winter in Tokyo is colder than I expected. Oh? Ah, it's true. This year is a little out of the ordinary. I'm gonna save right here real quick, just in case. We haven't had such heavy snow before. At least nothing that would pile up so high in a few hours. Sakurai gestures to indicate the height. Some of the earlier tension is slowly ebbing from her voice. I wonder why. Your trip just got here from Tokyo, yes? You'll take a while to adjust, and that's normal. The upside is that when you do want snow, you don't have to go out of your way to sightsee. As she spoke, her gaze flits across the shops outside, which still show no sign of winding down for the day. Finally, the car stops at the door of a small flower shop. Traces of snow are slowly melting on the tiles of the shop entrance. The small space before the doorway is illuminated by a warm yellow lamp. Peering through its glow and the misted windows, I can make out the blurry contours of the flowers within. This'll do. Let's get out. The flower shop is suffused with the scents of fresh flowers and leaves, and a hint of spice. The breeze stirred by the opening door wafts these aromas towards me. The warm air gently caresses my taut nerves, leaving traces of fragrance. Sakurai easily weaves her way through the display cases, moving past the organza, washi paper, and wrapping ribbon. She stands, head bowed, among the glass jars of fresh-cut flowers, surveying them intently. For someone who's ill, I think lilies, carnations, and oh, they have snowdrops here too. That's rare. They look fresh as well. How about getting some of these and arranging them in a basket? Are snowdrops suitable for the sick? In the language of flowers, they represent hope and vitality. And besides, they don't have a strong smell. I think it should be fine. How about you? Hope and vitality, huh? Let's go with that. Thank you. Sakurai calls over the shop owner. Besides that handful of white blossoms, her head drooping like wind chimes, she asks for several other common flowers. As the scissors snip away busily, I reach for my wallet, but she stops me. I was the one who suggested coming here. Consider it my treat. But she shakes her head. Her expression is tinged with a smile and a sort of affable ease. It seems somewhat out of place given that we've only just met. Sakurai must know that as well as I do. Perhaps late-night fatigue dissolves certain boundaries, and so that smile stays poised on her lips. Or take it as a thank you gift for our conversation earlier. I really enjoyed your reactions. Ma'am, your flowers are ready. The shop owner holds out a basket. Sakurai picks it up and thrusts it into my arm somewhat brusquely. The soft, fragrant flower petals tickle my nose, and for a moment, I can't find the words to refuse. My stupefied look must be quite amusing. Sakurai finishes paying and looks over at me. Once again, she doesn't suppress the upward smirk of her lips. Well, why are you standing there gawking? Let's go, the car's already running. Oh, right. Back in the car, the light scent quickly fills the enclosed space, making the atmosphere a little more relaxed than before. Well, that's nice. I remember you work in a theater troupe. I nod, remembering that you can't see me from up front. I shift my gaze a little awkwardly to the leather that encases the back of the car seat. The leather is crisscrossed with dense organic wrinkles, which segment it into countless miniature triangles. It's mesmerizing. Yes, the Emerald Eye Troupe. Have you heard of it? Not only have I heard of it, I know about the accident you had and your head injury. What? There's nothing surprising about it. Our family and yours, meaning the Sakuma family, we work together sometimes. The sort of news would reach me even if I didn't seek it out. Hydrated! I didn't voice crack, you guys didn't hear that. At this point, Sakurai folds her arms again. Her fingers drum against her closed joints with a light skittering sound. The Sakuma family. So, on top of the magic, they wield this much influence. Enough for Sakurai to bring it up with me. It really would be best to stay blissfully ignorant. Dear me, I was sure your uncle or sister would have met with you. When I heard that you lost your memory, I thought it was just your family's pretext for fobbing me off. I only realized it was true when I saw you today. Pretext? What do you mean by that? What did they do? Nothing. Doesn't matter. In any case, if you plan to go back, no. Given what your sister is like, she'll make sure you'll go back. If you're still completely in the dark then, it'll be far too late. Oh well, what I'm about to say may not be the best coming from me, but I think you should at least know some of the facts. The current head of the Sakuma family is your uncle, Minoru Sakuma. Your parents? Never mind that. The point is they left you and your younger sister Sarina to be raised by him. It's been over a decade since it. Oh shit! Wait. So Sarina is the one that we saw in the flashback, and then the guy there was her dad. And then I can't piece together who that other guy was that was on the floor. What the fuck? Sakuma-san is a highly capable man, but when he was running the Sakuma family business, he wasn't too fond of the Sakuma name. And so, as far as the public knows, the family enterprise has nothing to do with the family itself. That's why it's understandable that you don't know about it. The original cover story was that, being the eldest son, you have your own dreams and aspirations. As such, most people believe that Serena will ultimately inherit the business, and your head injury truly clinched it. But if you were to come back, that would change things, especially after Sakuma-san alerted our family again. Serena has spent the past few years shadowing Sakuma-san as his apprentice. She's changed so much, I can't say I understand her any longer. She's a bit too headstrong, and her tactics can be rather underhanded, and all sorts of things, including when it comes to her brother, not to mention how the Sakuma family also... Are you listening? When she mentions those two names, Minoru and Serena, a familiar splitting pain suddenly courses through my skull. My headache, which has subsided over a year of recuperation, now flares like a furnace rekindling from embers, kicking up fragments of memory. Do you have to go, Oni-san? With them? Well, that's it. I see. It's okay, Oni-san. You've always been the one protecting me. This time it's my turn to protect you. Minoru-san is coming. Oni-san, here you are. Your teacher tells me that you've done fine work on your recent assignment, but you seem far too tired lately. Why didn't you tell me about this? I don't recall ever instructing you to be the kind of child who doesn't dare to speak up. Your sister does excellently. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, chat. Chat, oh, hell no. Chat, I'm scared. I'm scared. Very well. Take the gun master back to his room and let him have a good long rest this time. Oh, and put him on a lighter diet. Be sure to tell the kitchen staff not to add salt. Hey, are you alright? Serena and Minoru-san? Amidst these memories, unearthed from some unknown recesses of my brain, a voice is calling out. I heave great gasps of air. The sharp pain slices Sakurai's words into unintelligible pieces. It's only after the pain slowly recedes that I gain some breathing room. Sakurai is clutching the padded passenger seat, alarm still lingering on her face. I kept calling you, but you didn't answer. How are you feeling? Do you want to get a checkup? We're already at the hospital. The grand entrance of GK Hospital casts its long, dense shadows over Sakurai's face. She's frowning once again, brows drawn together into fine creases. I'm fine. I get these flare-ups sometimes. Don't worry. Really? Really. She continues to stare at me with furrowed brows. Her gaze rakes across my face, damp with cold sweat. I force a rather stiff smile. It must look quite unsightly since Sakurai's frown deepens even further. After a while, she swivels and looks away. Her voice has regained its coolness. Since you're alright, it's no longer my concern. You may leave. Don't forget to wipe your sweat before you go. I get out of the car, carrying the basket of flowers. Sakurai waves to me through the window, then turns back and says a few words to the driver. She slowly vanishes from sight to the sound of the chugging engine. Only then do I shift my gaze to the hospital sign. GK Hospital looks like it was built not too long ago, given its relatively Western architecture, but it's a huge building. Even at this late hour, it blazes with lamplight, and through the neatly arrayed glass partitions, I can make out the throng of busy medical staff and patients awaiting treatment. Well, this means I'm far from being the only late-night visitor. Room 201. The wind gusts across my damp forehead, and I shiver. I better hurry in. The corridors of the inpatient ward are only lit by small lamps, most likely to avoid disrupting the patient's rest. I occasionally spot family members seated on benches outside the rooms, speaking in hushed voices. The nurses and relatives all tread lightly as they move back and forth. The lamps only illuminate the tops of their heads. The rest of them remain shrouded in darkness, and the shadows at their feet unfurl from short to long, like paper cutouts dancing in the wind. The door of room 201 stands ajar. A faint light seeps through the crack underneath. This is the first time the staff make their rounds. I can see nurses and doctors shuttling in and out of the other rooms. Only room 201 stands undisturbed. Maybe it isn't Kazuya's turn yet. I take a deep breath as I internally reassure myself. Then, moving as quietly as I can, I push the door fully open. There's no one else in the room, only Kazuya, lying silent on the bed nearest the window, still as a colorless sculpture. The pale moonbeams and pale lamplight weave together to form a gauzy veil, which drapes down to kiss the back of Kazuya's hand, where the intravenous needle pierces the pallid skin. He looks dead. I hold my breath until I see the silent rise and fall of his chest. Then I can finally let the pent-up air come rushing out in a sigh. I'm so glad. So glad. I gently clear a space among the objects littering the bedside table and set down the flowers I'm holding. Their faint set pervades the room, and Kazuya's brows, drawn so taut even in deep sleep, seem to gradually rise. Only now do I notice that his collar has fallen open in his sleep. Between the folds of fabric, I can catch a glimpse of his slender neck. I can make out the blue veins beneath his thin skin. I reach out to help adjust his collar, but when I brush against his skin, I vaguely sense that something is different from ordinary skin. There's a certain dry smoothness to it. Just like exposed flesh. Oh, hell no. Chad, I think he's dead. Oh no. My fingers tremble a little as I part his collar and uncover what is hidden underneath, leaving it quivering in the cool air. The muscular fibers that should be covered by skin are instead laid out bare. I can see every slight twitch of the vibrant scarlet sinews. The wounds are irregular in shape, and an eerie blue glow flickers around their edges, casting a ghastly aura upon his corpse-like form. Actually, let me go back to preface. Okay, gore is off for this one. I forgot. But I'm going to save here as well. Rather than shock, worry, or any emotion of the sort, what floods through me is a wild, unseemly joy. These don't look moist. They're not oozing any flesh fluids. They must have been made a while ago. Not as far back as a year, and not as recent as the past few days. Kazuya's alive. The wounds are perfectly even where they meet the skin. I can even picture Kazuya pointing the tip of the knife at his own chest, and slowly, methodically carving away his own flesh. Leaving behind those scars, glimmering blue like an octopus or a jellyfish or plankton drifting through the deep sea night. Hatsuyuki's words slowly reverberate within my head. Is this magic again, or... But even with these wounds, Kazuya's body bears no signs of suturing. He's still alive. He's alive right now. My gaze remains helplessly fixed on those strips of exposed flesh. They rise and fall with Kazuya's steady breathing, imbuing them with a raw, bloody vitality. In the stillness, thoughts slowly unfurl tendrils through my mind. Outside the window is deep darkness, and silence reigns within. It's so quiet I can hear the fluid dripping from the glass bottle. This atmosphere lends itself to the wildest speculations. It almost urges the mind to run rampant. But no matter what, I refuse to delve any further into my growing doubts and suspicions. Why are Kazuya and Habuto-sensei, and I, the only ones still alive? For the thought that they're still alive, that should be enough. That's enough for me to calmly face what comes next. Until the moon outside the window slowly sinks even deeper into the pre-dawn clouds. Until the sky is tinted with a faint pink-purple blush and a steady glow forms around the edges. Until my dry eyes blink and are met with a long-delayed wetness. Before Kazuya's eyelashes stir, I straighten his collar back to rights, I'll leave a note conveying my well wishes and Haburo-sensei's request. Then I stealthily depart the hush of the sick room. Shutting the door feels like sealing away some secret. It's light out by the time I get back to the troop. Pain throbs in my swollen temples. This might be my body taking its revenge for the string of restless nights, but my mind is still lively. So lively, in fact, that I lie in bed for half an hour without feeling the slightest touch of sleepiness. Oh my god. Dude, this shit's so fucked up and sick and twisted. This shit's so sad. He literally lost his fucking friends, dude. Fuck my stupid baka life. I better just follow up with Cousin Matsuru. Every trace of last night's disorder had vanished when I got back. It was probably Hamado-sensei who tidied it up, but they've always been averse to getting their hands dirty. They seem like the purely intellectual sort. It's hard to picture them cleaning and carrying on their own. I remember. I've got the phone number. Right here. I reach into my pocket and retrieve the card Cousin Matsuru thrust on me. After a look at the number, I turn the phone dial. 7239. Hello? Through the receiver, I can hear the crackle of static in a woman's voice, polite and remote. I'd like to speak with Cousin Matsuru-san. Very well, please hold. The woman replies courteously, and after a short while, I hear Cousin Matsuru's voice. I can't make out her tone over the line. Yeah? It's me. You're... Cousin Matsuru pauses. I can hear her leather boots rapping against the floorboards, and soon the airy sound of something sinking into a soft sofa. Ah, got it. Is this Kotori Sakuma? Done already? That was quick. Honestly, you could have given yourself a few days off. I don't have enough clout to know how much you get done in a day. A little too well-behaved, aren't you? Forget it. That sounds like I'm chewing you out. Anyway, I take it you're free now. Yes. Where should I meet you? I pretend not to have heard any of her rambling, but I can't quite banish the warmth from my face. Let's see. At this hour, you should come straight here. Trio Police Precinct. I'll be waiting for you out front. But what about your work? I'm top dog around here. If I have to handle everything personally, it'll look like those lackeys of mine aren't pulling their weight. Let them deal with it. Meeting you is more important. As I hastily hang up the phone, I hear the peal of a woman's laughter on the other end. Anyway, I should head over. I tighten myself up and goes downstairs, still feeling a little weak at the knees. I spent all night sleepless and out in the biting wind. I'm not sure which of those is the reason, but my feet, usually so limber and sure, now feel as heavy as bags of wet sand. When I open the door, the sun is perched high in the sky, despite how bright it is, and only gives off the mere warmth of a gas lamp. Not enough to melt the snow heaped along the road. The wait for the bus is better by daylight. The bicycles that were driven home by the bitter cold last night are now back in the Ginza streets, bells ringing merrily. People stream on and off the streetcars, jostle each other so roughly I cringe a little at the sight. It's not like I'm short of money. I'll just do it. With that thought, I head towards a driver parked by the roadside, easily touting his services. Or eagerly. Bleh. The fuck? The car's glossy black paint is spotless, and the seats seem roomy enough. He's added an extra layer of hand-stitched cushions as well. One door stands wide open, the wind flowing through. Even if the interior isn't scented, I doubt it'll have the unpleasant reek of leather and metal oil. Not too bad, though I have no idea why I think that. Shit. That's what I wanted to do. Got it. I'm stupid. Okay, let's... Okay. This is what I wanted to do. My god. See, I'm totally good at these things, chat. Totally good at these things, chat. Definitely. My only memories of car rides are the trip to Tokyo and the ride I took with Sakurai last night. I shouldn't really have any insider basis for comparison. Take me to the Trio Police Precinct. The entryway to the police station is remarkably imposing. The two-story Western-style building is adorned with ostentatious marble columns. It's plain to see that they got a generous budget. It must have been renovated, or maybe, like the hospital, was just built recently. The driver, seemingly awed by authority, stops a short distance away from the station. I pay him and get out of the car and immediately catch sight of a figure standing next to a pile of swept snow, kicking straight clumps with an expression of profound boredom. It's Kazematsuru. How long is he gonna keep me waiting? About as long as it takes a grain of sand to fall. Kazematsuru pricks up her ears. She stops kicking at the snow and turns to look at me. A gust of wind whips past, sending my coat rustling. I'm a bit cold, but if I did up my coat properly, I'd lose some points in sheer style. You walk pretty softly. Her eyebrows arch high. She stamps her feet, flattening the snow and mud beneath her soles, and appraises me with those striking eyes. It's kind of childish to sneak up on someone like that. And why don't you button your coat? Well, because it was warm enough inside the car, and the snow wasn't melting today, and the perfect wind was blowing. But I can't say any of that. I figured there'd be a warm fireplace in the police station. Ha! You're right about that. Kazematsuru barks a laugh. She drops the topic without nitpicking my excuse any further, and with a wave of her hand, she beckons me to follow her. We occasionally cross paths with some uniformed police officers. They seem to be low-ranking and are scrupulously polite to Kazematsuru and to me riding on her coattails. But even before we get too far off, their true colors become clear. I could hear the venom they spit behind our backs. It's not pleasant. I reflexively glance at Kazematsuru, who shows no sign of having heard a word. Oh, big stretch. She leads me through the main hall, along a walkway lined with snow and withered twigs, and down another flight of stairs. Finally, she stops in front of a door labeled Archives. What are we doing here? Well, the autopsy and examination will take some time. I'm not in charge of that part, so when I've got some free time on my hands, I come here to look into things. You want to know why they ended up like this, don't you? I've sorted out all the files, so you can take a look. She pushes open the door as she speaks and confidently strides in, quickly vanishing out of sight behind two cabinets. The metal surface of the filing cabinet warps my reflection. Countless cabinets hold countless copies of me, like a labyrinth of mirrors. Thousands of eyes glitter back at me from those depths, flashing green or blue under the incandescent lamps. I shut the door behind me and head inwards, following the sound of the tapping boots. The reflections on both sides follow me, their severed bodies swaying. The metal flashes white before my eyes. It's nothing like glass. That whiteness is completely blank, devoid of any reflection or stain. An empty desert is as hazy as a mirage. I look myself in the eye. The reflection is sightless, but I'm seized by the inexplicable feeling that I'm being watched. If that fucking creature shows up again, I'm going to lose my shit. Surely it's just an illusion because my reflection's eyes are so clear. That's the only explanation. Found it. Sakuma, you still here? Kazematsuru's voice drifts to me. I squeeze my way between the filing cabinets and spot her at a row of cabinets against the wall. She's holding a slim folder. It's all here. The files on that old accident of yours. Of course. They're just copies. She slaps the folder against my chest. I have to scramble to keep it from falling. Read it here. No taking it outside. She speaks like she's taking me to the archives is just a matter of course. There's a kind of brazenness to her tone and a hint of mounting excitement. My palms are slick with sweat, but Kazematsuru seems as unfazed as ever. Can I really read this? Isn't it classified or something? To a regular person, yes, but in your case, it's fine as long as you don't take it outside. Relax, no one's going to give you any trouble if you tell them your name is Sakuma. And I pulled a trick or two. Nobody will come in here, and no one can hear what we're saying. The perfect move for swapping some secrets. She laughs, seemingly amused by her own joke. Alright, you better get cracking before the canteen opens. At Kazematsuru's urging, I open the folder. There isn't much inside, just an old newspaper, a few photographs, and a sheaf of reports. The old newspaper rustles as I pick it up. It seems to have been lying there for quite a while. The front page is dominated by an article about the train accident. Signal failure or human error. Tokaido main line derailment accident exposes hidden hazards. Death toll 143, my god. My throat feels parched just from reading this far. The printed text sears into my retinas. A familiar pain is spreading through my temples, and as if I've been struck by something heavy. Echoes ring through me. With trembling fingers, I peel away a photograph from the clipped stack. And I get a stark black and white view of the train tumbling from the tracks, engulfed in flames, and the broken and shattered human bodies. It's impossible to tell the dead from the living. There are close-up shots of severed limbs. I can see the mangled flesh and stumps of bone. My brain throbs. I'm going to throw up. I'll splatter these pictures with the hues of fat, marrow, blood. Ugh. Oozing yellow fat. A sheen white ends of split bone, soft pink tendons enfolding them. Blood slowly oxidizing from crimson to rust brown. When the human body is taken apart, it should resemble an oil painting in lush colors. But when it's truly laid bare before me, carelessly splashed with pigments, its cross-section on display to the entire world, my only sensation is horror. Everything is scorching hot in the wake of the explosion. I could feel someone hauling me along, blood steamed from my ringing ears. But amidst the acrid stench of burning chemicals, my lungs kept working. No matter how much I wished they couldn't, they still faithfully brought me a scent that aroused my appetite. My brain was in ecstasy. It told me that this was the aroma of roasted flesh. The smell which had isolated me feels so palpable now, so untellable, as if it might truly have made my mouth water and my stomach growl. As if, among the screams and moans of my fellow humans, it might fill me with the craving to set upon them, to bite and swallow and devour. Maybe this isn't just a hallucination. How else could I so vividly imagine the itch of the blood creeping across my skin? My mind stopped short, but I'm reeling in terror. Did I do something else to them in that expanse of darkness beyond my mind's reach? Did I sniff? Did I lick? Did I... Hey, you okay? Kazamatsuru lightly pats me on the shoulder, then plucks the photograph out of my hand. It's creased from being clutched too tightly. Dude! What the Sigma was that? What the fuck? She tucks the flags out of the folder and shoves them into my hands, then picks up the photos, my gaze still glued to them. She tucks them away in her pocket as if draping a cloth over a box so I can no longer see what's inside. All I'm left with is that hallucination, so real and so substantial all at once. These are rough going. You should try reading the text instead. I swallow my saliva. The noise seems to ring loud in the quiet archives. Kazamatsuru might have heard it, but if so, she simply arches an eyebrow and waits for me to speak. I remember things from back then. Back then, when the train derailed, I think something exploded. I smell burning. My hand is spinning. My stomach churns with nausea. Speaking is an ordeal. Every word feels like it has to be ground into powder and squeezed through the gaps between my teeth. The burning, it was... That's enough. Sorry. Kazamatsuru seems a little startled, but she swiftly makes a hold it right there gesture, cutting off any further speech. Huh? No need to apologize. What I mean is, you only just remembered all this. Tell me about it right away can't be easy on you, both physically and mentally. I know about these things. I've been there too. Facing your fellow humans, thinking how delicious they smell, and holding back your appetite, or whatever you call it. It's not easy for a regular civilian to deal with. I'm sorry, I don't think I've ever thought of eating people. I think that's just you, bro. Her voice and demeanor are completely calm, a silent balm to my straining nerves. Besides, you were so badly injured you lost your memory. I doubt you could move around that much. If you didn't do it, you didn't. You don't have to beat yourself up over thoughts that never came true. The point is, you've had amnesia and you only just remembered all this. It's not your problem. Do you want to keep reading? Yes. I take a few deep breaths, and when my emotions have settled a little, I pick up the sheaf of reports again. But as I read, an nagging feeling straightens that something is off. I subconsciously frown. The preliminary investigation found that a moderate-sized explosion occurred in carriage 9, but no explosive residue was detected at the scene. What does this mean? It means that the explosives in that carriage amounted to around 3 cans of gunpowder. Their explosion caused the carriage to overturn and triggered a whole series of other reactions. But no trace of them was found. In a situation like this, it's only reasonable to rent a suite for a magical activity. But I wasn't in Tokyo at the time, so it couldn't be done. Or rather, they didn't want to employ manpower from this side, and now there's no way to follow up. Didn't want to. It's a matter of life and death. And so what? Someone wanted to cover it up. Someone was willing to pay the compensation. and certain people needed proof that I and my special investigation division were all useless wastes of space. Jesus. Something else seems to occur to her. Her expression darkens and she says no more. Okay, I'm going to save here and leave it at that because I love suspense. We'll probably continue this tomorrow, but first, let's find somebody to raid. Let's find somebody to say hello to. Who are we stalking? Who are we finding? Who are we? Let me see. Oh, we haven't raided this person. We're gonna raid into La Avispa, who's playing No, I'm Not a Human. And this is gonna be our raid message. And then be sure to copy and paste the message. If you're watching the VOD of this, I'm gonna have all the important links to the games we played. That's all gonna be in the description. I'm gonna try to remember to put my Discord server in there this time. But thank you guys so much for coming into stream. Hopefully we'll be able to stream tomorrow. The stream tomorrow might be kind of short again, because tomorrow I'm gonna be gone again. And I basically won't be streaming for the next few days, but it'll be a good transition into next week where we'll be doing a lot more horror streams and you'll basically be watching me shit my pants, and I'm very excited for that. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and raid out, be nice, respect the rules in other people's streams. Be sure to support everybody. Be sure to support everybody that we've been featuring during the Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival. And again, thank you so much to the people behind it for allowing me to stream these games at all for you guys. It's really exciting for me. And again, thank you to Studio Elan for giving me the opportunity. And thank you guys for watching a lot of these streams with me. But we're going to raid out. I will see you guys later. It's raid time, chat. Chat, it's raid time. Chat, it's time to go meet new people. And we're going to raid. Okay, bye.